Well, this one here, this one's one of an all-time, great. This I'm a fan, of John's songs, and this one in particular. But it's a funny story, Everyone thinks that the help is a cry for help because we were famous. It's not true, actually. This all happened. It's a silly story. It was his pickle obsession. It's true, John had this pickle obsession. One day, 65, we're in the hotel room, and me and John are coming up with a song, and he takes a break. He goes for his pickle jars, but this time he had this, Irish, pickle company that he'd gotten them from. And it was because they'd run out of pickles, it was the pickle shortage of 65 in London. The hole was smaller, because Irish people have, everyone knows smaller hands, From Liverpool, we'd always had big, so meat hooks, that's why I played the bass, and the sounds often so, we can get that sound of be huge. I've got these, you can't even tell, how sausagey, my hands are, And so, John's hand is stuck, so I call, George into the room. And, by golly, we can't get him out of that jar. He's starting to he's worried, We get Ringo in, sort of the jaws of life. In the band. Nobody can get his hand out the jar. And he starts singing, screaming. He's screaming, help! Help! And that's when I knew. I said, John, keep going, Keep going. And we got out the acoustic guitar while his hand was stuck in the jar. And he wrote it, the whole thing. Such an obsession with pickles. We were almost, this is a true story. Man, we were almost called the Pickles. Imagine that, being on Ed Sullivan. And here comes the Pickles, that would have been us there. In fact, Sergeant Pepper was almost called Sergeant Pickles, and listen here, if you take that down, bring up Fixing a Hole, right, and I love this one, but originally, if you take that and you move these, the original sound of it was, his hand's in a jar and we've got to get it out. I need my John to play along. Get his hand out. Most everything we did, get Pickle, Sergeant Pickles, it was all, while my pickle gently weeps, it was all, something's in your pickle, it was all there, And so, that's just more of the magic, that we had.
Help me get my hand out of the jar. Come on. Help me if you can out of the jar. Help me get my hand out of the jar.
You made a mistake.
What was that rubbish?
I know you did.
Well, I'm about to make relish over here if you don't get me hand out of this jar.
You're daft, guy.
At least someone get me a margarita or something.
I'll try to remember, John, and if I don't, well, it's just too bad, isn't it?